How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about CTRM, Castor Maritime. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over an agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. If you are a shareholder or you're considering to take a position, I highly suggest you watch the full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over, we have some updated information on Fintel. I promised you guys yesterday I'll get it done for you to take a look at it, and we're going to be taking a look at it for today. We're going to see if institutions are loading up or are they selling out their positions. What are they doing? And then we're going to be taking a look at the short interest. This is key. We want to know, what is the overall market sentiment? Is it negative or is it positive? And do they believe that the stock price should even come down? And then secondly, what we're going to be taking a look at is the order flow distribution. We want to see how much buying and selling was going on Friday. I feel this is very good understanding for anyone who's looking at stocks and you want to have a good idea of what you're holding or what you think about buying. What is the buying behavior? What is the most of the volume that is happening on that particular day? In this case, it's going to be Friday. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So we're now on Fintel. We're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership for Castor Maritime and as well as the short interest information. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see here institutions have not been taking any position, and this is taking into consideration the last one, which was Citadel, that closed out their position on May the 21st. So they're still adopting the same wait and see approach that we have as retail investors and also the people who watch this channel. Now, if we take a look at the short interest information here, the short volume ratio is at 23%. So this is above the 21% that we tend to look for when it comes to short squeeze potential. And of course, this was updated on the end of the day, Friday. Short shares availability is at 0, which was updated 15 minutes ago. And the short borrow free rate is not available at this current time. If we take a look at the short volume ratio, we could see 23.01 is actually low compared to histories. We're used to seeing actually CTRM being in the 30 range or being in the 40 range. So seeing it at 23 is definitely something that is very different here. But it does show us that, hey, as far as market sentiment is concerned, they're saying, hey, this stock is priced high. It needs to go down even lower. That's part of the reasons why we have significant short volume. So this is one of the things I want you guys to understand as part of the reasons why we definitely have a wait and see approach with this to see where the price action ends up after all this reverse split, I guess, phase has actually been finished out, and we can see where the price actually settles. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for CTRM. So we can see on the inflow side, it was at 7,249. And then on the outflow side, it was at 10,941. On the inflow, it had 1,868 for large orders. And then for medium orders, it had 3,671. And for small, we had 1,709. Now for the outflow, large orders were 1,535, while medium was 6,534. On the small side, it was at 2,872. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we could see on May the 28th, it was at 333.57. So the inflow on the large order side was higher. So what does this mean? We definitely had some large orders coming in regards to purchasing shares of CTRM. So another thing to also see, the outflow definitely beat out the inflow. But another thing to take into consideration of the fact we were heading into a 3-day long weekend, and due to the fact that the reverse split actually took effect on the Friday as well, that's why I'm not too surprised that there was a big time outflow. Another thing to also understand, to the fact that the large orders were a lot higher than the large orders for the outflow, then take into consideration what that means is someone is loading up, or many people are loading up looking at where the price is. In the past article that we covered on this channel, they were saying that as far as where the prices of CTRM is now and looking at the amount of shares that are actually outstanding, it's a lot closer to the valuation, especially since the CEO is expanding the fleet. So this is definitely looking interesting here, but hey, I'll go into the final thoughts and we'll talk about this even further. So for my final thoughts for CTRM, I'm definitely not surprised with the sell-off, considering we were going into a 3-day long weekend, and then on top of that, the reverse split actually went into effect. So just opening up your brokerage account and seeing, hey, what the hell is going on? And also, it is no surprise, this is a trend that happens for reverse splits, especially when it's for penny stocks that are trying to stay on NASDAQ due to compliance. So the next thing that I want to tell you guys, and I'm going to keep emphasizing this, if you're considering to get into a position for CTRM, I would definitely have a wait and see approach, and we want to see where the price actually ends up settling. Another thing is, when we were taking a look at the institutional ownership, we haven't been seeing any recent activity whatsoever except a closed position from Citadel, I believe, which was on the 21st. So it's definitely been a while, and I feel like many institutions are playing that wait and see approach that I'm recommending. Also, taking a look at the short interest information and the short volume ratio, again, CTRM is no stranger to being above 21% in regards to the short volume ratio. If they end up dropping some big time news, or they show some consistency in regards to their earnings report, then there's definitely can be some upside in the stock here. But again, this is bearing on any dilutions that may occur, and they do have a history of doing this. Another thing we also got to take into consideration, due to the fact that they just had a reverse split, there's definitely going to be a lot of short sellers trying to make some money off of this stock. So what do I mean? They're going to say, hey, it should be a lot lower than the $3 of where it's priced at right now, regardless of the fact. So this is why I'm saying do not be surprised if you see it going down into the 250 ranges and so forth. But again, I can't tell you exactly where the particular bottom is. We got to be patient. We'll wait and see what happens, because it could be higher than that or it could be lower than that. And that's part of the reasons why I'm recommending that you play the wait and see approach here. Maybe you might have a position in CTRM. Many of you have been telling me that inside the comment section. So if you're looking to add, please be patient. Do not just add right away, because hey, if you can get an even lower to bring your cost basis down, even better. But do keep in mind, the CEO knows what he's doing. He's focusing on expanding the fleet. Be prepared. He might end up going out there and diluting more shares so he can expand the fleet even further. And if this is the case, you're definitely going to have to wait a lot longer for you to see a return on investment. And what do I mean by this? Maybe close to maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It all depends. But like I said, if it shows consistency on the earnings report and Castor is showing that they're bringing in a lot of revenue and things are looking good, then you already know what's going to happen with the stock. Hope you guys found this helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.